Are you watching the game?
Yeah.
They're the worst team in the world.
How much you want to bet they score under 10 points?
I'm not making that bet. I'm not betting on the Bears scoring. I'll be happy if they put up a point. Yeah.
Yo, shut up, okay? I'm about to record my podcast.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Say Less Basketball podcast. It's Zach Fulcher, joined with me as always, Mohammed Daffleseed and Will Donzella. Episode 39 for you guys. This week's episode started November. You know, we're riding into the season. We're kind of getting into the beginning storylines of it. So we're going to talk about some interesting things so far that have been early, like the MVP rankings. There's also these cool two little graphics that Will has found about the efficiency of certain teams and certain players on defense and offense, both sides of the court. So we'll get into that. But last week there was a lot of shit going down with Halloween and everything. Mohammed and Will were the only ones on the podcast last week, and just wanted to say clear some things up, real quick. We set these things to be at 11 a.m. and a certain person who I will not name in this conversation was very late last week. He went on and we waited for him. Nothing happened, and then noon came around, and noon, as most weekends is the Bears game. I watched the Bears games with my mom. Jack obviously is going to be all in on football, even though he's not on the episode this week. I know he's going to be checking fantasy like crazy. But it's just tough that, we waited for this man, Will, and then he came
I thought you said you weren't naming names. Yikes.
He came in at, well, you were pointing to yourself, so I mean.
They don't know that if they're watching on Spotify.
Trying to make it obvious, And we waited for this man, and then he just did it without us,
All I know is I told you I was going to be late. I communicated, it's 11:17. What's your excuse this week, bro?
I was sending invites. What do you mean? I was waiting for y'all to say you were ready.
I was just waiting. I just said 11 o'clock. I'm ready.
I noticed man Will hates it when he's the reason that the podcast is delayed, so he can't stand that. I know he
1 out of 39 tries. Dang.
He doesn't like. No, that's not 1 out of 39. We've had multiple instances where we're supposed to record at 9 and then folks get off work and then suddenly it's
but the important
midnight.
Thing is I always communicate it, I have this communication skills. All I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm sticking by it.
Okay.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
I don't know. I just saw 23 on Muhammad, and I thought of the GOAT LeBron, and it just kind of triggered some thoughts.
Yeah.
The GOAT doesn't play in the NFL till tomorrow. Just throwing that out there.
But we're kind of getting in there. Were we like 3 weeks in, almost a month into the season, right? We're posting on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. We're all trying to be better, every single day on all of those. We're trying to post more. It starts with all of us, so we're trying to be better. So follow us on Twitter and everything, and Instagram, Linktree, YouTube. Shout us out on YouTube if you can too. Just helps out the whole squad. So appreciate all that. Bless you.
Thanks.
But
shout.
We have the MVP race that we were talking about off the podcast here, but apparently, according to, well, I don't know what source you have for this, but
NBA.com.
NBA.com. Wow.
Yeah.
Has Durant listed as number 1 in the MVP race?
Let me just read Let me read it exactly what it said.
I was looking at draft.
It's a Kia MVP ladder. Durant rises up to number 1. Wow. So he's not favored on DraftKings though. Yeah, because I was checking that today too.
Yeah, I was looking at that today. It's Steph.
Still right? Steph. Yeah. Steph and then KD, I think. And KD jumped Luka. He did jump, but
yeah. I said Luka going to be the MVP to start the season, but the Mavericks just have not enough pieces around them. I think if they're they got to be up there. They really got to be up there because in the standings, because Luka can do all this, but if the team is like a 6th seed, we talked about this last season. If the team is like a 6th seed, most likely he's not going to win it, right? And so far, I think that we're not even 10 games in yet, so it's really just crazy talk right now to say who's the MVP or who's the defensive player of the year right now or who's the rookie of the year, because it's such a long season. We really have no clue right now. We're not going to know for a while, until we get like a quarter of the length or midway into the season who's really got a shot to win it. I don't know what you guys think.
Why isn't Joel Embiid in the top 10? They're the number 1 seed, so what's going on there?
Are they the number 1 seed?
In the East, yeah.
Oh, in the East. Okay, I was gonna say overall. East, yeah. Actually, are they the number 1 overall? No, they're second behind the Warriors. The Warriors are still. They blow my mind. If the Warriors somehow get the 1st seed, Steph should win the MVP. There's no question in my mind.
Thank you. Facts.
I already said that they're not going to make the playoffs. I can't believe that they're 8-1, 8-2. That's insane to me.
That is facts. Yep.
They've had a pretty easy schedule, so.
And the Lakers, but
no shock.
Actually, I don't even I don't even know if I trust the Lakers right now.
The Lakers after that 2 losses to the Thunder, man.
And blown leads like that, man. Come on.
NBA Twitter has been a ghost town because no Lakers fans are talking anything because they're not doing. They're getting shit on, And they just lost to the Blazers yesterday too. Damn.
The Lakers did? Oh yeah. Well, LeBron. Their excuse is gonna be LeBron's not. If LeBron's not playing, bro, it doesn't matter.
Still though, you shouldn't be losing to teams like the Thunder multiple times. Didn't they lose to the Thunder twice?
Yep, but they both games they blew massive leads. Massively. Yeah. Here's gonna be, since we're on the MVP topic. If LeBron comes back and suddenly they start winning, immediately he's gonna get some jazz for MVP voting. The narrative is gonna jump immediately because it's gonna be, oh, LeBron has figured it out. He's figured out how to manage Westbrook. Because honestly, if LeBron's in both those games, they probably do win. But that doesn't say much. It's the Thunder. It's probably the worst team in the NBA.
Yeah. This is a problem. Yeah, this is a problem. We talked about this, what happens. We talked about this. This is a likely scenario to happen that, they're not going to have AD and Russ and LeBron for most of the season. That's just not going to happen because all those guys can rest. They have injuries. They start out, Russ obviously starts out slow and finishes really fast, so we're gonna. That'd be a crazy narrative if that happens again this season because he started off really bad. There's that one clip with the shot on the backboard.
Oh my God! I made that into a. Did you see the clip I put on our TikTok?
Yeah, that was good.
That's with whatever that dude's name is. That was funny to me.
Yeah, somewhere Mike Breen is saying way off. And the commentators are like, "Oh my God."
I don't know if I quite. Yeah, the commentators' reactions were hilarious. I don't know if I quite understand why KD is winning the MVP race, right? Because the one that you care about is the Kia MVP race, right? The one that the NBA puts out. That's the. Yeah. I guess it doesn't matter because it's all voting. It doesn't mean anything, but. I don't know how KD's winning it, dude. Brooklyn is
not. Yeah,
6-3. I mean, they're not terrible right now. They're the 5th seed in the league, 5th best team.
They're tied for 3rd.
They're what? Tied for.
Oh, you said in the league, man.
In the league, yeah. Well, and so in their own conference, you got would you guys look at Jimmy Butler?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Jimmy will ever get MVP love, but should he? Because I mean,
Man,
I don't know.
we're just so early. There's so many guys that have been solid for their teams and have high win numbers. Like we're only 10 games in. And there's a lot of teams with like seven wins, 6 wins who have been, putting up solid numbers and they've been winning. But it's so early. You could say anybody on this, like the top two on each. You could say Jimmy deserves it, and Embiid deserves it. I don't know if anybody on the Bulls deserves it because they're just so well rounded. They don't.
DeMar.
DeMar, I guess. Yeah,
I
DeMar.
give DeMar some love.
You could give
That man
DeMar
has
some
been
love.
nuts.
Steph, obviously, on the Warriors. I think the Warriors are only going to get better too. This is, he's not really. If he can get back to the crazy numbers he was putting up last season with this team with Clay back, like they're going to be unstoppable, right? With Wiseman too, I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But there's also that if once that's going to be like during like a long journey through the season, so that's going to happen, later. And the Lakers have a lot of time to figure this thing out. So, and Westbrook has a tendency to get better throughout the season, and he's overrated right now, and then he'll go back to underrated, and then he'll be overrated later. So it fluctuates a lot. There's a lot of crazy stuff with the Lakers. Before I know I listened to the show with Chris Broussard. I think that's First Things First, and Nick Wright, and they were talking about how that the Lakers need to switch to more of a small ball thing because Dwight Howard was playing too much, and they had DeAndre Jordan starting, and they just weren't getting enough rebounds. And you want to get as many rebounds you can if you're playing big, and they were not. So you need to switch to a more, balanced rotation with a full squad of, wings who are 3-and-D players. When they get LeBron back, I think LeBron needs to be in the. LeBron needs to, the AD, yeah, the AD in the center thing is crazy because a lot of people are saying that he should start at the 5, but he's never started at the 5 in his career either. So I don't know what's going on with that.
I actually saw his stats. Like, there's only been like 2 or 3 games where he started at the 5. And like his statistics are horrible.
He also played only 7 minutes the last game with the Blazers. So
only 7?
He only played
like
7.
At the 5 or just 7 total?
Just 7 total.
Oh.
So
what was I gonna say?
I
feel like Nick Wright sits up every night analyzing how the Lakers can be better. Like he genuinely just wants to figure it out so that they can improve.
Yeah, he can take claim for saying what they did,
Why isn't love with LeBron? I mean,
they're doing what I said they should do,
I don't so what I guess the reason KD's getting love is Harden is still like Harden had what, a 3-game stretch or whatever where you were like maybe he's back, or 2 games, whatever, excuse me.
Yeah.
And now I feel like he's just gone back to he can't play with these rules. And I think I think I said this our first episode or like of this season when after we saw Harden look like a toddler that didn't know how to play. I said KD will get MVP love for sure. He might even win MVP if this happens. But as soon as Harden gets going again, he'll drop. So whoever's betting out there, if you don't think KD's winning the MVP, do not bet on him now because his odds are probably only going to go down. Because I find it hard to believe that Harden is going to stink it up for the whole season. Maybe he is, and we talked about this last week, Mohammed. If he does, then he's not who we thought he was. He just isn't. But I think if the Bulls get top 3 seed somehow this year, again early, like you said, Zach. But if somehow they do, you got to give DeMar some love. I would imagine it's going to be DeMar or Zach LaVine. whoever it may be, somebody on their team deserves some MVP love because to jump from what were they the last year, 10th?
Yeah, 10th seed.
To get the 3 seed, you got to have 50 wins, probably. I'd imagine. That's that's insane. That's almost they're gonna have like a 20 game increase in wins. So that I would find it hard to keep anybody, or at least all their players, at least one of them off the list. What about the Jazz? That's a team that I feel like no matter how good they are, nobody ever gets MVP consideration.
I think Donovan should for sure. If they're a top 2 seed in the West.
Loki, he started the first like 5 games. He was ass. But
yeah, he's been playing good.
Yeah, but he's stepped up. This is off topic, but do you guys think the ball is actually affecting the league this much?
I know people are saying that for the Dame shooting slump, but I don't know because I haven't. I don't know if it's a different texture. I know it's a different brand, so it has to be a different feel to the ball. But
I don't know. From my experience playing basketball, I would say it's affecting at least a little. But then I see like Michael Porter miss a wide open layup last night, and I'm like, that's probably not the ball, bro. That's probably you just being that bad. Do you think he actually got hurt, or do you think the coach just wanted an excuse to pull him?
Probably pull him. I saw MPJ.
Didn't he get hurt? It said he got hurt, right? I didn't get to watch the game. I was working.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he got hurt. Yeah.
Okay. I thought maybe that they actually genuinely just pulled him.
I don't know. I saw some MPJ slander last night on Twitter too. You know, they were saying, I can't believe this. I honestly believed that MPJ would be able to make up Jamal Murray's production.
He hasn't scored more than 13 points, I think. He's on my fantasy team. Trust me, I know. I'm watching this guy like a hawk. I wanted to trade him immediately. I was like, nobody's going to want him seeing this crap.
Classic.
He got hurt
because
he got hurt last night. He was listed as out for like 5 minutes, and within that 5 minutes, I was able to pick somebody up before it went to day, and then I wouldn't be able to.
Right, yeah.
So I was able to, because I got him on my IR in time, and then I was able to get somebody before he switched to day. So I was very lucky.
Yeah, that was a nice move.
But I hope he comes back.
I hope he follows through with you, because I hate when you wait and you like, oh, these players are gonna bounce back. That's happened to me.
That's every year, bro.
That's happened to me this year with Chris Boucher. Like, I'll wait. I'll see what happens. He'll bounce back. He's just
Chris Boucher's look bad, man.
A bit of a slump, and then I wait, and then I try to trade, and then nobody wants to trade for him because he's playing like ass. I'm like, well, he'll bounce back. He'll have a couple of good games, and I'll be able to trade him. Nope. Never had a bounce. It's
because of Precious, I think, man. Precious really screwed.
Yeah, they're really he's not gonna play, and now they're gonna get Siakam back too at the power forward slot. So that's Boucher's primary slot, I think, is the 4. And he's not gonna. He's not shooting well. He's not shooting well this season either. So that's not gonna help.
The defense is not doing elite defense. It's just
your shooting slump is not gonna help you boost your rotation minutes, my guy.
Well, that's why I ask about the ball, because I've never seen this many players slump at the beginning of the year, like crazy. Mm-hmm. And I can speak for my fantasy team because I watch them more than like you guys, but maybe you guys have some other guys. But like Chris Middleton's been terrible shooting. Obviously, Michael Porter's been terrible. Karl Anthony Towns hasn't been great. These are all guys on my team. Darius Garland, he's had a lot of shooting woes. Robert Covington, who I just picked up off waivers, but I've been watching him. He's been awful. Steph had a rough start to the season. I think he's gotten a little bit or a little better going. AD, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. So I kind of wonder if the ball is actually impacting them. But then my question would be, wouldn't they have been practicing with this ball the whole summer league, or I'm sorry, the whole preseason, right? Yeah. So it feels like a lame excuse.
It reminds me of the time. I don't know if you guys know about this. The time when they changed the ball, that was in like 2009 or whatever, and guys were getting like blisters and like splitting their fingernails with the ball because it was like a different texture and it was a different company. what was it? It was they changed it because it was originally the classic Spalding ball, right?
Spalding.
The Spalding,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why did they change it this time?
I don't know. I don't know why they
Money
changed it.
probably.
That's what I was guessing.
Money. Oh, solid.
Are you sick, bro? Again?
Me? No.
Yeah, you're sniffing.
Oh, they
good.
changed it to the synthetic ball. I'll put an image up of it now. But I've watched some videos about this, and people were getting. They changed it like
a synthetic ball.
synthetic ball, and it would like it would
Yo.
like mold your hands, and when they would sweat, like they wouldn't be able to get good grip on it. So they were missing. They weren't getting good grips on it, and then it would like split their fingernails, and they were trying to shoot it and shit like that. So
Not laughing because they're getting hurt. I'm laughing at the idea that
synthetic
somebody actually
ball.
like somehow that actually got pushed through.
Yeah, and it got taken away like midway through the season because so many players complained about it. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like I don't know why they want to change the ball if it's always worked like the way it has. If it's the solid Spalding classic ball is what they always do, then just keep it like that. I don't know. I hate that they change it.
They said here. I just googled why did the NBA change balls? Oh boy. Pause. After unhappy players criticized the composite material, which some said cut their fingers because of. Wait, is this now? This is 2021. Okay, which they said cut their fingers because of its friction, and the league office for their lack of a voice in the switch. Only a small group of retired players tested the new model. The NBA ditched it and returned to its all-leather model after 2 months.
That's a synthetic one, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Wait, so why is this written in 2021? Is that what you're reading just now?
No, I wasn't. No, I just know that.
Okay,
yeah, it wasn't heavily.
Yes, I was reading the.
It wasn't.
That was just.
Yeah.
I think that was just a New York Times post that they reposted.
Yeah. How did they let that happen? How do you let that happen? They didn't test it regularly during the season, and then they implemented it for. Oh my god, that's so funny.
That's wild. They literally didn't test it. They just let retired players test the ball, and they're like, "Oh, okay, these guys who are retired."
Those guys who were like haven't been playing for 20 years don't even remember what the ball felt like. They're like, "Fuck it, this is okay." Oh man.
Okay, so a skills coach said that the type of ball has a massive impact on players and how they play. So that's a skills coach. I don't know if that's actually true, but
wow,
I can't find the actual reason for them switching it. League average 3% is just 34, very low in the league. I don't know, but whatever. It's affecting the league, I think, at least a little bit. Oh well.
Well, it hasn't been a big storyline, but if it grows into being one, if this continues,
if players start cutting their hands open and getting blisters, and they might have to change it.
Yeah,
it is weird though. You said because it's funny. Like you tried this before, and granted, they didn't switch to a synthetic ball, but like you tried it before, it didn't work. So why are you trying it again? Like, like Mohammed said, I think it has to be about money. That ultimately, that's pretty much what everything revolves around. So,
yeah, facts.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but Mohammed, you got any comments on the MVP or you kind of talked about the ball?
No, I just think Joel should be up there. Donovan should be up there. But it's too early, so I think it's not going to be the same top 5 in 2 months or maybe even a month.
Yeah,
you could throw $10 on or 10 or $20 on somebody you think was going up. You know, whose odds will increase, and then if you don't think they're going to win it, just cash out.
Yeah, I was going to say if the Bulls get to the 3 seed with the 50 wins, they're certainly a Coach of the Year candidate, I think. I think they're
I
definitely.
was thinking about that. Yeah.
If they get to that, yeah, that's definitely an argument there for coach.
No,
of the
I
year.
don't think it's an argument.
Yeah.
I don't know how you don't.
You think it? You don't think it's an argument
If
for
it,
anyone else? Yeah.
there, yeah. I mean, you increase your wins by like 20 plus. I really don't know how. Well, actually, no. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it would be about 20 or more. I don't know how you don't win coach of the year. That to me is
Mm.
because everybody likes to think just because you have a great team, it's just automatic. There's a lot of coaching that goes into that. A lot.
Yep.
You know, you can't just put 10 great players together. Like I don't know. It was Shannon Sharp. Yeah, he was talking about the NFL. Like if you ever look at teams that try and load up, like you can't like for instance, why am I blanking? Odell Beckham. He's a great player, right? Most of us would say he's still at least got some left in the tank. He couldn't just go to like the Rams or whatever and it work. You can't just go to a loaded team.
Didn't work with the Browns.
Yeah, it didn't work with the Browns, and the Browns, most people would say are pretty loaded. You can make an argument the best roster in the league. I say that pretty much every week on this podcast. And so it doesn't just happen automatically. So you have to be able to coach that. And to me, Billy Donovan, top 3 seed, it's a wrap. He's coach of the year. It's not even, I don't even think it's debatable.
Yeah, he's currently at plus 800 on DraftKings, which is second behind Spoelstra. Spoelstra's at plus 700. Something to look into if you are into that kind of DraftKings betting thing. If Jack is listening to this, I think he's gonna. He ain't gonna be. He's probably so mad that the Bulls aren't. The Bulls are doing well. He's not gonna bet on that. Bet on Billy Donovan to win Coach of the Year.
Donovan Mitchell, bro, $10 on him right now pays out $360.
Damn.
Mohammed.
Damn.
I'm just saying, if you think his odds are going up, because even if his odds go up, you can just cash out and then you make some money. That's what I would do. But I try not to bet. And
yep, that's something to monitor. That is something to monitor. But we're gonna change topics here a little bit. We're gonna go to these crazy graphics that Will has sent. These are the efficiencies of most players on. So there's a first one we can talk about is this TPA, the defensive points saved and then offensive points added. We're talking about
the players, yeah.
The players. That's really interesting graphic. It shows, obviously it shows how many points they're contributing to their teams and then how many points they're saving. One thing we'll point out is that it doesn't that saving is not attributed to defense though. It's because if you save points, you could be still letting up a lot, right? Because if you can block somebody or block a shot, but that you could still be giving up points if they blow by you. So that's one thing Will was talking about. But what was Mohammed? Mohammed, you were saying a lot of interesting things about this with the graphic.
That what I said. I was just surprised at some people's positions,
right?
Certain players. Let me try to find it.
Wow. I'll just say I know you mentioned
Jokic.
KD.
And Jokic was surprising. KD was surprising. AD was surprising. Darren Fox from the Kings was surprising. Also Gobert. Those are just the guys that stood out to me.
Where's Gobert? I can't find. Dude, this graphic is so congested. I don't like it. I wish it was like a more spread out axis.
Yeah, that Fox placement is pretty bad.
Joel. So we go on the y-axis, we got defensive points scored, and then x-axis we got offensive points added. So to me, I'm gonna just say I'm pretty surprised by Zach LaVine because just from watching the games, I thought his defense was a little bit better. But again,
same.
But again, this stat is really, really poor in the sense of, like Zach was saying, defensive points saved could mean, well, it is weird because if you're negative defensive points saved, does that mean you're giving up points? Is that what that means?
I think that's what it means.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then what I said about what you said earlier, Zach, what I said about Steph having, 0 or whatever, if you have a positive defensive points saved, then that would imply that I was wrong,
Right.
Zach. That would mean that
Yeah.
your net defensive points is 0 or positive. So you're not giving up points, which means that I was wrong about what I said about Steph. And just kind of further reiterates what I think about Zach LaVine. I thought his defense was better this year. I really did, watching the games. Same with DeMar. Like, we talked about this last week and in prior episodes, Mohammed. Like, we were talking about how the defense of the Bulls is looking great, but it's not just like Lonzo, Caruso, why am I blanking? Patrick Williams when he was there, and some other guys, Grant, that are like playing really well defensively. It's also the guys who you wouldn't think are playing well that are playing well. So all that to say, I thought Zach and DeMar would be higher. You got to stare at this graphic for a while. People on YouTube,
Yeah.
really absorb it because it's a lot. Jason Tatum, Dame, God, they're awful on defense. I think we kind of do that. Who are you guys surprised that Jimmy Butler is the best on defense?
Not
I'm
really.
not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I'm just surprised at Jokic, man. He's really good on defense this year.
It's so early. I wish they would have this, like, I wish you could find this online and it was updated like live, Because
I'm pretty sure this is from NBA Maths. It's a Twitter page. It's pretty good. I'm pretty sure they release stuff like this updated
all the time.
constantly. So I'm sure we'll get another one maybe next month, and then after that.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
I mean,
Blood
I think
Damn,
Jokic
is just all lonely in the corner.
that's the worst defensive player in the league. I've been trying to find Trae Young. I can't find him.
Trey's, I'm pretty sure I saw him.
God,
Rip Jalen Suggs. Oh, Trey is right next to DeMar and Carmelo Anthony. It's crazy to say.
Oh, wow.
And both Melos actually.
Yeah. Well, okay. So Trae Young is kind of more where I would expect.
Yeah, but there's no way Trae Young is a better defensive player than Zach LaVine. No offense, but that's not true. That's just not true. I think you have to take into account their roles on their team as well.
I mean, this is
everything
has to come with interpretation. This is
and
not a perfect chart.
This isn't measure like the tendencies or the matchups or their like their
James Harden,
their coverages or whatever. You could blow a coverage and that could be contributed to somebody else. Letting the points come up because they're guarding that player now. So I don't know. We'll have to see how they measure this too. But they're NBA Math is pretty accurate with their stats. So
James Harden, after watching him literally quit on a play the other night,
it'd be really
flat out. It was more than quitting. It was like he literally just got a whiff of like some kind of drug and just zoned out of nowhere.
Our caption was it looked like his controller died. Yeah, it honestly did.
This man, I've never seen a play like that in my life. Like, did he think it was backcourt? Is that must have been what he thought?
I think he thought it was going out of bounds, so he just assumed like it's going out. I'm just gonna stop, trying for it. And then he didn't expect whoever was guarding him to come try to get the ball.
Yeah, we've seen him quit on a lot of plays like that.
Maybe he just didn't want the turnover. I doubt it, but yeah, that was a lapse of conscience right there.
Look at Boban right there in the center. God, how many minutes has he played this year?
It'd be really interesting to see a stat of who's blown the most coverage in the NBA. Who's blown their coverages the most? That would be hilarious to see.
This is, you know what's interesting? I wonder how this stat would correlate to like a plus minus. It wouldn't really have any correlation at all very well because plus minus is incredibly like relying on the other people on your court, but
Mm-hmm.
it would be interesting to look at.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that Chris Middleton? No.
Plus minus. Look at Horford. Horford is doing bits on the Celtics right now. That's
He
crazy.
really is. DeJounte Murray too, right there behind Bam.
Yeah, DeJounte's having a great year.
He is. Talked about it last week. Zach, top 5 point guard, do you think? Mohammed says at least by the end of the year. Yeah, I don't think he is yet.
He's got a case though. Top 5 guard, yeah. I'm
I'm not gonna
surprised
argue
by
against
I'm
Case.
surprised by the hot starts by Harrell and Bridges and by Harrell. I'm surprised Harrell is so high on the points added. Really shows that the Lakers were not using him the right way.
Of course, a LeBron-led team not using a player the right way.
Oh no!
Shocking! Shocking! Let me throw a ball at a power line. Shocking!
Shocking.
Credit Zach.
Shocking! Yeah, it's a James Bond quote. After he throws the fan in the bathtub and the electrocutes the other dude, he goes, "Shocking." No.
Who
Love
is
that.
this?
I love that.
Eric Bledsoe. I thought Eric Bledsoe would be
yikes.
higher.
Yeah, people are saying to trade Bledsoe.
He's looked really bad this year.
Another
guy on my fantasy team. He's just looked bad offensively. Defensively, I thought he's played really well, but he had a slump there for like 4 games, and he came back the other night and he played really well. So we'll see how he plays tonight. Austin Rivers.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon. I thought Aaron Gordon would be a little higher on the defensive. Same with Wiggins. There's a lot of like, what?
I was just going to say, shout out to Gary Trent Jr. He improved a lot on defense. He's been playing really good for the Raptors.
Yeah, he's averaging crazy amounts of steals. I know that. He's doing really well.
The Raptors are the new Lakers. The old, like the Lakers when they had B.I. and Jordan Clarkson and all those boys to me. Because they're just like young, outside of like Van Vliet, but they're like a really young upcoming team, hopefully, I think. Did you guys see that video on like social media about the Lakers and like all that young team that they traded away to get LeBron and AD and like where those players are now?
Something like that.
Is of Randall.
And
what they've accomplished.
Yeah, I was watching a highlight when Randall was on the team and he like chirped back at Garnett about something when Garnett was still in the league, and somebody was like saying like, what would this team be like if it had D'Lo and Larry Nance Jr. and Randall and
Brandon Ingram, Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. Be one of the.
And then somehow got LeBron. I mean, if LeBron just let him stay instead of, let's just face it, he wanted him gone.
Yo, I think
that's tough.
Is Gary Trent Jr. is leading the league in steals per game right now. So
who's got him on their fantasy team?
I think Matt does. I should have picked him up. Should have dropped Boucher earlier. God,
bro, there have been so many great waiver acquisitions already.
I'm saying this is the most. If you're watching and you need help on fantasy acquisitions, just go to the waiver wire. I'm telling you, bro. There's gold buy-ins just waiting to be reaped from the waiver wire every year.
Yeah, as long as you're not in like a 14-team league. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's going to be somebody in a league like that, but it's harder to find. If you're in like an 8-team league or 10 especially.
Yep.
Obviously 8. There is somebody on the waivers that will win you your league.
Facts.
Possibly. But he picked up Mobley, I think. Mohammed picked up Mobley this year, and that's already proven probably to be the best pickup. I'd say Hayden getting Horford is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to ask you guys about this. We didn't even plan for this, but that Kyrie, do you guys know what's going on with that? I was trying to figure it out. Is there like, are they trying because of the elections in New York, they might like change the rules?
Yeah.
Well, the new mayor that got elected, people assumed that they were gonna change the mandates, but when they won the election, they came out and said the mandates weren't gonna be changed. So Kyrie has to either, well,
He still has to get
it's just the same
vaccinated.
situation, just play or not play.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay. I thought maybe I didn't read much into it, so I was gonna say if he comes back, bro, man, the Nets are gonna start to look decent.
Really decent. Yeah.
And Katie's MVP hopes just go down the drain. But I don't know. Maybe Katie's chasing a MVP trophy while Giannis is going for that
Not
that NBA trophy.
that meme. I'll put that in right now.
Yeah, put it right there.
Put it right there.
It is.
That meme is so outdated now.
It is, but it's so funny.
I know. That's so corny. Yeah, but that's interesting. There's also this. It's crazy that people are putting out these efficiency graphics already. We're not even like 10 games in, and we're looking at these efficiency graphics. But there's another team one that we were looking at with these different quadrants and the efficiency of defense and offense.
We'll show that too.
Yeah, we'll show that. Yeah, and then the Heat are really looking solid with the number 1 net, number 2 offense, number 2 defense. I expect the Heat to be a top 4 seed in the East at least. I think they're going to be. If it continues like it is now, have mercy, because I think the Heat are going to be a real shot to win it all. If the Nets can't figure it out without Kyrie, if they don't get Kyrie back, that's going to be tough for them. The quadrant of wow. The quadrant of wow.
Of woe, bro.
What? What?
Oh, I thought you were looking in the bottom in the third quadrant.
The
or
quadrant
the
of
bottom
woe.
left.
The quadrant of woe and the quadrant of wow.
I didn't even notice that. I mean, we should look at record. I want to see if these correlate to records. I think they do. The Celtics and Magic and Pelicans and OKC and Detroit are god awful. And I don't know. The Suns have not looked good this year, right?
No.
Now they're the 4th seed somehow. So I'm agreeing with you. I think the Heat are going to be nuts. But as a Bulls fan, I'm so happy to see where they are. Number 5 in net. That is net like offensive efficiency and defensive efficiency.
Yep.
So that's a good sign. These are we talked about this. You guys remember that episode where we talked about stats that lead to winning? Offensive and defensive efficiency were right up there at the top when you go to like more advanced stats.
Yeah.
Outside of like rebound, steals, points and that stuff.
It's pretty crazy. I've seen a lot of usually on Instagram, I'd see a lot of Lakers highlights, but I'm seeing a lot of Bulls highlights on ESPN and SportsCenter. This ESPN and SportsCenter suddenly becomes, Bulls Center, then that's gonna be nice because they're throwing a lot of lobs, and that leads to a lot of highlights. So.
Yeah. Did you guys see Undisputed? They talked about the Bulls. I was so happy when I saw that.
I didn't see it. No.
What'd they say?
It wasn't like a segment about them, but they were talking about the Nets, I think. And then they brought up the Bulls and they're like, don't mess around with the Bulls. And Shannon was like, yeah, the Bulls are going to be good this year. They look real good this year. And I was like, all right, this is a step in the right direction. Next is let's actually have a segment about the Bulls. Let's actually talk
That's
about
not happening, dude.
There's no glitz and glamour, I know.
That's not happening.
Oh, man.
Regardless of what's happening around, they'll always talk about the 3 main teams, the Lakers, the Cowboys, and the Buccaneers. And then the Nets. That's it.
Yeah.
We just need a Bulls fan on that show because Shannon has to be the most Oh my God, he has to be the most biased fan I've ever seen, analyst ever. He really
Well,
does.
they're all biased except for Chris Broussard.
I understand that, but like Shannon just is totally open about it. It's only with his teams, like outside of his teams or slash players, because really it's just players. Like he's pretty objective. I like his takes. But when he talks about his teams, man, it's terrible to me. Like, and Skip just antagonizes him because he'll be talking about the Lakers and he'll try and be like objective. Shannon will, and then Skip will be like, "Well, Phony Goat didn't do this, blah blah blah. Phony Goat doesn't need to play because they can't win with Phony Goat because he's a phony." And then Skip will be like, "Why you do that, Skip?" Or Shannon will be like, "Why you do that, Skip?" Oh, just blah 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 blah. It's just it's gold. We need to start acting like them.
Oh
That'll
God.
get more. That'll get more attention.
Oh God. We're a podcast.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, but it works.
Bulls are certainly a top 5 team right now. So Bulls, Heat, Sixers, Warriors. So far, the Grizzlies have been disappointing. They started out really hot and they have dropped a few games.
Yeah, they're still fist. Yeah.
Still, yeah, they're
I feel
still.
bad for the Pistons. It seems like they'll never get good.
Oh man.
Number
Bro,
30 net, number 30 offense.
bro, 10
they're-
years ago they were elite. It's fine.
They're 1-8. Oh man, I didn't see that.
Not even 10 years ago, like 15 years.
Damn, the Pelicans are 1-9. Oh yikes!
It's because they don't have Zion yet. Do you think Zion's gonna elect to try? He's gonna try and force his way out.
No.
Yeah. I think he will.
Why not?
He has a decent squad. I mean, I don't understand why. The only reason I understand why he would want to leave is because he doesn't want to be in New Orleans. But if you're gonna leave, a good situation like that because you just don't want to play in that city, I think it's just weird. I don't get how these players I don't get how these scenarios come up because I never seen that stuff like 5-10 years ago when guys just leave teams because I want to play for the city. Like that's just ridiculous. It's dumb.
What about Dame? What about Dame and that rap lyric?
I was gonna say the rap lyric. What?
Oh wait, go say what you're gonna say then.
I was gonna say I think some people have been. Charles Barkley said that Zion has put on a few pounds and he looks like if Shaq and him had a kid. Shaq and Chuck.
Oh, dude, that was so funny. I saw that.
And the commentators were giving some digs and saying he looks like he's put on some pounds. He could be pulling a James Harden like last season. I don't know. Like with when he put on looked like he was big and then he went to the Nets. And some people were making memes about that he's gonna slim down once he gets traded, like James did with the Nets. I don't know. It doesn't look like he wasn't really like in on it. I remember the rumors like last season that he wanted his family wasn't all in on the Pelicans. So I don't know if he's not all in and he's.
I thought most of that had to do with David Griffin.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he wants to be there. I really don't think he does. I don't know where he's going to go though. Some people are saying the Knicks, maybe.
That would be cool. I'd like to see him and RJ play. RJ has really turned into a nice player. Like I know it's his third year, second year, third.
Mm-hmm.
I like RJ. RJ's really turned into a good player.
Yeah, but where would they play Zion though? If they have Randall at the 4,
Who knows? Would it work? No,
definitely not. No,
it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that. Where would be a good fit for Zion if he gets out? The Bulls. I'm gonna just say the Bulls, man. The Bulls. I want him on the Bulls. He wouldn't be. I don't know if he'd be a good fit for the Bulls, but
I don't know. It depends. Like who would trade for him? Would it be a top team or would it be just a mid-level team? Would it be another lottery team that would trade for him that has a good young core? Like
does he even?
Or
he doesn't have a no trade clause, right?
Or the Hornets could trade for him.
I'd like him on the Hornets, but even that, you got PJ Washington, you got Miles Bridges.
Well, PJ comes off the bench, so you could have a strong lineup with Miles, Zion, and LaMelo. That'd be pretty good.
Who plays your 5? Who do they have at 5?
Mason Plumlee right
now. Okay, they do play him. Yeah, I guess Miles Bridges plays small forward. I mean, that would work. I think he and LaMelo would really work well because LaMelo's good, man.
Yeah.
I can't face it. I can't lie to myself anymore. That dude's just legit. And that is what it is. I'm happy to see Atlanta fell off or has fallen
And has
off.
been struggling.
Mm-hmm.
I said Atlanta and the Knicks are going to be the teams to fall off. You know why? Because somebody had to make room for the Bulls, bro. The Bulls are coming. I'm just saying. Do you guys here's a question. I know I just threw one thing at you, but here's another thing. What about the Raptors? Like, are the Raptors a playoff team to you?
They could be. I think they have a good enough team to make the playoffs. It's just who do they replace? We talked about before, like the East is kind of stacked in terms of teams that could make the playoffs. So someone has to get left out. I think they can make it over Indiana, Washington.
Are we saying playoffs as in the 8 teams that make it, or are you saying play-in tournament as well?
Play-in included.
Oh, yeah, they'll definitely make the play-in for sure.
Okay, so, I mean,
actually, I don't know. Because
You
I would
really
get
don't
Boston.
know. Well,
Atlanta.
the Pistons and the Magic.
Those are the only 2 teams I am confident are making the play-in.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Outside of that, every team in the East to me can make it.
Yep. Patriots have a lot of injury concerns though, with Brogdon out and Warren is out, and you never know what's going to happen with Miles Turner either. So
Brogdon injury prone, Warren injury prone. Miles Turner has had a few injuries. We don't know about Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert came back, but like,
I like to point out that Brogdon actually played 80% of games last season, so he was not injury prone last season, but that is
no, but he's had a history.
in a 72
Maybe
games.
not last season.
Yeah, but yep.
I like Brogdon. I still think Brogdon should have got traded to Philly. I still believe that would have been a good move for them.
Yeah. It still would be.
But I mean, you guys have said Philly looks pretty good. I'm pretty surprised, maybe not too surprised by it, because it's not like they're just annihilating good teams. I'll give them the wins over the Bulls. I think because I just think the Bulls are great, but they're not exactly beating anyone. But still, I'm a little bit surprised. Who's like stepping up for them?
For who?
For Philly.
For Philly? Well, I know
I watched like 3 of their games.
I know Tyrese Maxey, because he's on my fantasy team. I know he's starting. I know he can develop into a nice player. I know who's their other guard? Shake Milton.
Seth Curry.
Milton. Seth Curry has certainly stepped up. Yeah.
Seth Curry has been a dog this year. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. Shake Milton is a nice bench player as well.
Georges Niang.
I feel like Shake and Tyrese Maxey can develop into solid players. They're both young. They both have big playing time minutes. So
I wish Matisse Thybulle did more.
He has been playing more, right?
I mean, I'm not saying playing more, like do more. Like, he's a great defensive player, but I feel like they don't utilize him on offense at all. Like the Phillies, the one game I watched when they played the Knicks, dude, the Knicks just outlined the way to beat Philly right now to me, and that was just literally double team Joel Embiid every single time he touches the ball. Make someone else beat you. Joel was terrible that game. Nobody, their defensive pressure, you make someone else beat you and live with what happens. Or the alternative. Go on.
I was gonna say they've been playing with a really shallow roster recently.
Really shallow. Bro, I cannot believe they don't play Drummond more. Like, it shocks me. Not just because I want him to play more because he's on my fantasy team, but like Drummond is a good center. Like he would start on a lot of teams, a lot. And I understand Joel Embiid is like significantly better than him, but like I don't understand that. Joel could play the 4 if he needed to, or if he wanted to have both them on the court at the same time. Because why? Why can't he?
Nah, if it doesn't work with Ben Simmons, it doesn't work with Drummond.
You know who they? You know,
Why?
oh,
So
Just the spacing. Like, and B is not like he can shoot, but he's not a straight up, like you can't just put him as a spot up shooter. He's gonna have to turn into one of Drummond's.
I just don't understand what happened to the days where you had 2 big men and that was how you played. Why can't people play that way anymore? It's
the pacing.
I think it's more about the shooting, but
the pacing and the and the floor, and the spacing, the pacing and the spacing.
I don't know, dude. Drummond is so good to me. He's just like the one game that Joel misses, he goes off. He absolutely went off.
Yep.
And I mean, watching Philly play the Bulls last 2 games, it seems like the only time Drummond comes in is obviously when the beat's sitting. So it's
yeah, exactly.
18, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Lately it's been like 10. But yeah. And Tobias has looked really good. He's just got to sit. Tobias just got to stay consistent. Honestly, that's his problem in my opinion.
Shout out my guy Paul Reed. Play Paul Reed more. Shout out the DePaul alumni.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out the DePaul alumni. He was in one of my classes. I helped him with one of the projects. He was a nice guy. Shout out Paul Reed.
Look at this picture, bro. Oh,
he's looked solid.
Zoom in on this picture.
Yeah.
Zoom in. Everybody who's watching on YouTube, zoom in. He's looking like this.
Yeah. I love
it's Paul like the Reed. Will Donzella look, man.
Hey man, he's doing nice. He's a nice acquisition for Philly. Got drafted like last year, so he can come off and play in this bench role because Philly needs people off the bench, bro. They only got like 8-man rotation right now, so they need players who can come in and shoot the ball, get some nice rebounds. So what was he?
The Clippers suck.
5 for 6 in the last game, 10 points, 5 rebounds off the starting. He started last game. Yes, sir. And they beat the Bulls. Sadly, that could have happened to any other team. That would have been awesome, but it had to happen to the Bulls. But
Bulls, I don't know why. I honestly am kind of surprised they lost both games to Philly. I thought they'd at least split. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised by that. There's nothing else to say. I was just surprised. I thought they'd win at least one. Those were big games to me because I would have liked to have seen them win one. Now I definitely like to see them beat Brooklyn or the Warriors. Like I just need to see them beat one of these elite teams in their upcoming schedule.
Well, they're gonna have plenty of chances because they play a lot of elite teams.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it right now. You got the Lakers. You got who knows about the Clippers, the Warriors, Brooklyn next. If you want to consider Dallas and that, or Dallas and Denver, who haven't looked great, but then they'll have their chance to avenge themselves against the Knicks. And then after that, it's crap. And then we got Miami and Charlotte. So I mean, dude, this month, this is a brutal month for them.
Yeah. I don't understand why NBA is kind of weird and suspect with these schedules.
I'm looking at their schedule, bro. Even December is rough. December is pretty bad too.
And would you rather have them have this schedule now or later? I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean,
I'd low-key rather have this later because I don't know. It's just like it has its benefits either way because it helps them gel together, probably figure themselves out faster. But if they have it later, then they'll probably have a good team to have a set offense, set everything, so they'll know what to do and how to beat these teams. So it's just basically what you prefer.
I don't know. Like you said, it's like later they'd have more time to figure it out, and then you'll actually get to see how they actually can compete against those teams when they've meshed and their chemistry is up.
Right.
But now it's like it's too early, bro. It's just not gonna. Jack, Mr. Novelli, Jack, I know you're looking to jump on the bandwagon, Mr. Novelli. I know, okay? And you're waiting for them to be consistent winners, but it's just not going to happen right away. All right. Everybody but like 2 or 3 players on this team is new or something, and including, the players that got traded midway last year. So it just doesn't happen right away. It's just not gonna.
Yep. This is the reason. This is one of the reasons we all love the NBA. This is one of the reasons we have the podcast. It's just the NBA season is a journey. It's a long season. The football is not a long season. You have to be hot the entire season to be a shot at the Super Bowl. And if you can start out the season real slow in basketball, and if you finish as the hottest team on a nice win streak, you have a real shot to win it all. So I love the journey. I love the whole atmosphere and the vibe of the NBA. I just wanted to say that because it's a journey, man. I love journey. I love long journeys. Patience, patience. Let it develop. I was watching the Shannon Sharp, one of these glyphs where let it develop, Skip. Let it develop.
Oh yeah. I know that. I watched that. Yeah.
Like a Polaroid. Let it develop. Like you gotta let it develop. You gotta let everything develop in the NBA, man. You gotta let all these things, all the issues. Now, just keep trusting the process. Really just trust the process, and keep doing things, and eventually, things will work out if you have everything right, everything that's in place to be right. Some things just might not be going for you right now, and if like shots or coverages or defensive coverages or spacing, figure those things out and get them right throughout the season, and execute on the spacing and making shots and covering and making solid defensive coverages, then you're going to be set to win games. So that was my 2 cents on that. But I love the journey. I love the journey of the NBA season. And I'm just talking right now, to be honest. It was funny. It was funny listening to the last episode because I noticed that with the absence of me, Mohammed definitely talked more. So I'm trying to
shut up and dribble.
Shut up and really shut up this episode and let somebody else say something instead of my gibberish.
Yo, maybe we should go see Eternals. Maybe. I'm just throwing that out there as an idea. I have nothing going today. Although I do work tomorrow.
Leave stuff outside the podcast. Okay, just that's something outside the podcast. So
are you telling me what to do?
I'm suggesting what you should do.
Your suggestions are not welcome here. I don't need your
suggestions are welcome.
Advice.
No, your suggestions are welcome.
I know for a fact. Are you watching the Ravens Minnesota game?
Yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure I knew him very well. I do. So, Also, yeah. Well, I know. I just want to guess what game you were peeking at because I know you like a brother. Not a mother.
Oh nah.
I just want to also thank you guys, specifically Zach, for saying I had a nice haircut. It's the first time I
was just about to say
cut
that.
my hair. Yeah.
Nice haircut.
You have 45 minutes or 50, whatever.
You were due for a nice haircut after the coming out of this man came out of 4 brain surgeries and he's still looking fresh. Like, look at that. Like, that is an accomplishment. Yeah, clap for this man.
7 years ago.
Oh.
That doesn't have any reference.
No,
it doesn't make any sense. So
you ruined the moment, bro. You ruined the moment.
That's what you tell us, man. I always ruin the moments, bro. That's fine. Mohammed, I like that shirt, by the way.
Thanks.
May I ask if there's any other writing or pictures on it?
On the back of it shows the goat. So
the phony goat or the goat?
The goat.
Hey, America, you take and do with that information as you will. We know who the goat is.
But
yeah, well, we're 2 Bulls fans. Wow, 2 Bulls fans. Will and Mo. I wonder who the GOAT is in their opinion.
Notice how he didn't say 3 Bulls fans.
Yeah, that's because in my opinion, I am a Bulls fan, but you guys obviously don't think so. So I was I was conveying.
How many Bulls
to-
games have you watched this year, Zach?
I've watched like 3.
Which ones?
I watched the one with on ESPN. That was with. I think that was the. I think I watched. I remember watching the Celtics game with the comeback. That was crazy. I remember I watched the game where Caruso was throwing the lob. They throw the lob to Caruso. I don't remember who they were playing.
You don't remember the 3 games.
I'm saying
There's only 3. You can't remember at least the
the
opponent.
Celtics. The Celtics.
Okay.
I think I watched the Knicks game. That was pretty tough. And then I remember I watched. They were just sneaking one up. Yeah, the Sixers one. I remember watching the Sixers one. That was tough.
Yikes! I missed the Sixers games. Oh, so of course I was.
I'm trying to get my mom. I'm trying to get my mom on the Bulls wagon because they've been bad in previous years, and she hasn't watched them as much. But I'm trying to get them.
I don't understand that, bro. Why do folks just stop watching teams when they become bad?
What do you mean? You do that with the Bulls, with the Bears. You both.
Oh,
do that with the
I
Bears.
haven't been a fan of the NFL like that. Just is because I didn't like NFL football. To be fair, to be honest,
some folks aren't big fans of the NBA, right?
Yeah, but like Mr. Novelli, I hope he hears this. Oh, I don't watch the Blackhawks anymore. I don't watch the Cubs. I don't watch the Bulls because they were terrible. What? Man, come on.
There's some teams that you just should be a big fan of that you could watch any game they play.
I honestly thought like Cubs fans would watch them even if they got blown out like 100-0 somehow in baseball, but
they'd still sell out the stadium arena.
That's
dumbass.
Weird. That's honestly weird that they can, but whatever. Now we're just yapping. So football is on. We gotta get going.
Yep. We'll see you guys. Thanks for another episode. Getting up there in the episodes. The season's rolling along here. Getting started.
No Justin Fields jersey today, folks.
Yeah, Bears play tomorrow night.
Still Bears. Sure.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you. Twitter.
Ooh.
YouTube. Instagram. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.